Hello and welcome to a different type of endurance video from me. Some people think you can only go far if you use off-track cuts. Well, I'm going to show you that you don't have to go far. This race will stay on track. Now, just to make the point, I won't even do my normal strategy of backing up a bit to make use of the slow bots. I'll just go forwards, and because I'm going forwards and I don't want to waste time, I just have to coast. I'm going to be coasting a lot of lap 1 because you should not pass cars to overfill your timer. And also, these guys are ridiculously slow. And if you start crashing into these guys, you're going to start to have your handling suffer. Now, currently there's a glitch in the game where your top speed won't suffer, but your grip and your brakes will suffer. And I found that out the hard way. Next thing you know, you're sliding off track when you least expect it. Now, at the start of this race, I should have driven backwards for a while. I could have logged half a kilometer by doing that. See, you drive backwards for a little while and then you floor it. And then some of the bots are out of your way and you're making use of the wasted time that I'm having to spend right now. I'm wasting time by coasting. Why am I coasting? Why don't I just overfill my timer? Because that'll kill me at the end of the race. What I mean by that is, it will be wasting time. There's only so many slow bots that you get in a race. If you waste them early, you won't get any more later, you'll just get really hard bots. So, I've got to make careful use of the bots. I also have to make sure that I fully know how much time I will get when I cross the start-finish line. Now, I've recently done a video that shows these times for every single current track in the game. Here's the video up in that link. So there we go, 28 seconds is what you get at this track. Now I have to keep focusing on that every single lap as I near the last third. You see, I do not want to have my timer any higher than 62 as I near the start-finish line. But I don't want to just slam on my brakes and sit there because then I'm going to be giving up momentum. So, as I'm getting near to the back side of a lap, I start paying attention to how many bots there are and how many should I pass and should I just hang back and wait until I cross the start-finish line. There's a lot of strategy if you want to go far in an endurance race. And that's what racing is all about. You know, you think about real-life racing. And these guys have all sorts of strategy they're thinking about all the time. There's fuel strategy and tire strategy and so many things. This game is no different. You have to look at endurance strategies. When do you hold back? When do you charge? How hard can you push your car in the corners, etc. Another thing that some people will find controversial is that racing is all about pushing the boundaries. So, okay, there, I took that corner really clean. I guarantee you there's going to be 1 or 2 times that I'm going to accidentally go a little off track. I am trying to keep it on track this race. But in real racing, people are always pushing the boundaries. If there's any type of racing series that you really follow, you will know that there are drivers and there are teams and there are crew chiefs and there are owners that are regularly getting fined and having disciplinary measures laid against them because they did something that was not proper. But then you have another team that did the same modification but didn't take it to such an extreme. For them, there was no penalty levied. This is common in the majority of sports. People are always trying to find a way to shave a tiny bit of time here and a little bit of weight there. It's so common. So this game isn't any different. So let's get a little bit into endurance racing strategy that I use. So yes, if you go off track in an endurance race, you earn nothing. Whenever that little distance marker turns red, you are not earning fame, you are not earning R, you are not earning M. Now, the only reason why you do it then is because of momentum. Right there, I went off track a tiny bit, but I was going so slow that actually hurt me more than it helped me. Pardon me for a second, my phone is slipping a little bit. Readjust it. All right, there we go. Okay, so the advantage of an off-track cut is momentum. So if you can't keep momentum, there's no use taking it. And that's why in certain cars, there are certain cuts that you can never take. In these cars, at this track there is a cut that you really shouldn't be taking because it won't benefit you. For instance, right here, I stay on track here, and then this next corner, I would cut that later on in the race. Not early, but later on, I would cut that corner a little bit. It doesn't save you very much time at all, like maybe a quarter second, but the whole reason you do it is so that you could pass another car, and that'll give you another 10 seconds. So that is a big reason why you can use off-track cuts in an endurance race. And another cut is coming up here. Again, I will not be taking it. You've got two options at the final chicane. One is to cut it a little bit to the right and take the grass. Two is to actually go left between the barrier and the wall, and you end up smacking the wall a little bit. And in this car, you just lose way too much momentum doing that. So I would never take that cut in this car. In some cars, like if I'm in supercars or hypercars, it is definitely beneficial to take that cut, because in those cars you spend a lot of time on the brakes. These cars have absolutely amazing brakes, and so it just doesn't make sense to do that. So the morality of cutting here, or the ethics of cutting, that's going to be up to people's interpretation. As far as I'm concerned, we already are penalized in the game, and just like in real life racing, you have to decide if that penalty is to your advantage or not. And in this case, in certain instances, it is worth it to give up a little bit of earnings for the benefit of momentum. Not always. Interestingly enough, if I drive Suzuka really aggressively with taking off-track cuts versus doing what I'm doing now, I actually don't go that much further. So this track is kind of an equalizer for the two different techniques that people use. I went a tiny bit off track there again. I'm pretty sure every single person who plays this game has accidentally done that much of a cut in many of the races that they've run. You know, I mean, we've all done that from time to time. So I hope people aren't splitting hairs over that tiny little mistake. As you can see, I'm trying very hard not to do that. Okay, so more strategy. If you really want to be good at these races, you have to really learn the boundaries of the car. To really push the boundaries of these cars, of any car in this game, but especially these cars, these really fast, high-braking cars, you need to have all of your assists off. Oh, nuts. I hope that didn't damage me. Oh well. And then he's slow. I'm not expecting a slow bot at this point. Wow. That hurt me. That will hurt my final distance right there. At this point in the race, I am not going to have my timer overfilling as I cross the line. So that just cost me maybe half a kilometer to a kilometer off of the end of my race. It's that important. Okay, so let's get back to the conversation about assists. In these cars and in most cars, pretty well the only thing that isn't going to hurt you very much is steering assist low. Steering assist high is going to rob you of speed in certain corners. It's also going to try to force you to take certain race lines. Brake assist low will brake too late most times. Brake assist high comes on way too early and stays on way too long. Now, once in a while, brake assist low will brake so late that you actually blow the corner. Oh, okay, right there, that also cost me distance. That's just the way it is. I was overdriving that section a little bit. Okay, so brake assist low. Once in a while, brake assist low comes on so late that you're going to slide out into the corners. So then you feel like you have to have traction control on. But traction control always overbrakes. When it comes on, it doesn't go off soon enough. And so it also robs you of speed. Okay, let's get back to this race, because this is starting to get to the hard part of the race. This is where all of the mistakes I've made add up, and you start seeing the effect of those mistakes. For instance, loss of momentum because I bumped a bot, or lost time because I didn't pass a bot very well, or losing traction in a corner and losing both distance and time. It all adds up. Now let's look at some of the targets I face at times. I don't know Rob H, but I've noticed that he's always in Group A and that he's capable of driving laps at least a second faster than I am. So here, that second makes a world of difference when it's a second per lap. So I'm pushing it really hard. My timer is getting low. And this is where taking a little cut right here would be an advantage. In fact, even here, you could cut there. I would only do it to make a pass. It is definitely a detrimental cut, but if there's a bot there and you can gain an extra 10 seconds, well, then it's worth it at this point. Now, I'm being a little overcautious here. I was going to try to time a speed run and I didn't. You see that bot up there? The price I'm paying for my mistakes is that I will not get another lap. Because there was a bot up there and I just needed another 5 or 6 seconds to have passed him. You can see what those extra 10 seconds would be gaining me right now. I would have gotten back on the start-finish straight with a decent amount of speed. I might not have crossed the line at full speed, might have been coasting with no time left, but then I would have gotten another 28 seconds. That would be really nice. Let's change views and let's convert this to miles. 28.2 is what the game will say, even though it's 28.25, but that's okay. This is how the game is going to score me. So 45.4 kilometers, that's a nice amount of fame. And that's an even better amount of M dollars. As you can see, you don't have to do anything crazy to go pretty far at Suzuka. It helps if you are really good at time trials and if you really know where you can push this car. Then it's a matter of strategy, when to pass, when to charge, and so on. I hope some of these tips have been beneficial to you. Here's some other videos that you may find interesting. This is ME7 signing off. Thank you for watching.